I played Jake Sully, who was a jarhead. He's a Marine that got transported to this wondrous planet and fell madly in love with Neytiri.
I played Neytiri. She's the daughter of a Tsahik, who's a shaman woman, a person of high stature in her tribe, and Neytiri has to follow in her footsteps, but she does not want to do that. And she meets Jake Sully, and they both embark on this wonderful adventure, not just of love, but also of protecting not just who they love truly, which is their family and each other, but also the planet. Getting the part was a very strong memory for me. It was already a process that I was enjoying greatly, getting to meet one of my idols, James Cameron. Getting the part was exciting, but it was also very nerve-wracking because it meant that I knew I was going to have to work really, really hard. But what I couldn't have imagined was that the process of all that hard work I was going to also enjoy, because I was going to learn so much and be a part of a really beautiful story that was going to then become very groundbreaking for many, many people. So yeah.
The strongest memories is just the sense of play that we had. It was every day's problem solving on a film set, but in this one you're playing the problem is, how do I ride a banshee? How do I climb floating mountains? How do we do that? You know, this is kind of, you know, intergalactic stuff that we're trying to do in a soundstage in the middle of wherever we are. And it's like that sense of play is what you need to get through that. So that's what I remember.
It affected me personally because up until that point, I hadn't really thought about having, you know, really intense conversations around environment, around Mother Earth, and that was sort of like the initiation of that consciousness, you know, for me. In terms of work, it was groundbreaking. You know, it really, I was able to catapult myself into other projects and continue my journey growing as an artist, and being able to, you know, through my influence, to tell really good stories that I believe in and collaborate with filmmakers that I believe in. But the greatest gift of all is the experience to be able to come back and work with people that I just, you know, love and truly admire. Which is, you know, when you come back to a sequel of a film that you really, really enjoyed, it is a gift that the actor takes with them all the time.
My whole world and life went 180. That's it.
Yeah.
Look, it has a multitude of themes, but I put a lot of thought into this. I think that there's a sense of Jake Sully just wants to belong somewhere. I think it's about belonging, and I think we're all looking for our own clique, our own tribe,
yeah,
our own clan, where we feel comforted and emboldened by. And I think that's part of the reason why it connected globally, is because everybody feels alone and we all want to be connected.
It's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful story. And it's multi-layered, and at the core of it is something super simple, which is love. Like Sam is saying, we all just want to be loved and we want to belong. And then just visually, it was like unlike anything we had ever experienced. It was an immersive experience. It was delivered in 3D. It was unique and groundbreaking, but also, you know, taking it back to the environment. We were shown a mirror of what we could become if we follow in this path, and here's the really not so great version of it, and here's the possibility of what we could become if we make better choices. It was the beginning of that conversation when it came to the environment, and it was not political. It was from a human sort of place, and that became very thought-provoking.
Theaters are these weird place where you sit with complete strangers. So you do that in a church too, but then they turn the lights off, so that would be a very weird church. But then you're transported thanks to light being reflected onto a screen. And something like Avatar literally does take you out of that darkness into another world entirely. And To me, Avatar's always felt like this dream. And the remastered version definitely kind of reminds you of what that feeling is.
This is a story set up against a world that has to be experienced on a bigger screen. It needs to be heard, it needs to be felt, it needs to be seen. It is an experience that is beautiful and quite magnificent. And also, you know, and quite simple, he worked really hard for this. Like Jim really worked really hard and to write a beautiful story, to create the technology, to be able to manifest that vision. And once you're sitting there with a whole bunch of strangers with your 3D glasses, and you find yourself through your senses feeling all the sensations, all the feels, then that's when you realize that all that hard work was for the greater purpose of you to sit down and just enjoy it. Because it is a pleasurable experience.